Welcome to the D&D Gardening Channel. Here's your host, Dee.
Hello everyone and welcome to our channel. I am Dee with D&D Gardening, and today is episode 1 of our small series called Spring Sprouts.
A few moments later.
Plan, prep, and plant. This one, and it's going to be possibly a 3-part series. In today's series, though, I have started already going through my seeds and picking out the ones that I am going to plant for spring. I have gone through and pulled out all of my empty seed packets, and I got this idea. Let me start that first. I got this idea from, let me look online. It's Yellow Door. But anyway, I got the idea from her because, you know, she's absolutely right. There are things that we need to do in order to plan for our next season. And this is my first time being able to get this far ahead of the spring season, because I started gardening last spring, but it was near the end of last spring. So this is completely brand new to me. So I thought it would be a good idea to share what I am planning to do with you guys, just in case you are not already subscribed to her channel. I'll say it like that. Now, I have removed all of the empty seed packets that I was holding in my 2 seed bins. I've got a third one coming because I've got these 2 stuffed with seeds. But these are empty seed packets that need to be thrown away. I've already placed orders for all of them, with the exception of a couple of these tomato, maybe 3 sets of these tomatoes that I need to get ordered, like, as my husband says, ASAPidly. So I need to place orders for those. But what I keep my seeds stored in, and I think I showed this to you guys once before, are these little 4x6 photo containers that have these plastic photo cards in them, photo holders in them. I put labels on them for each group, I guess, of veggies that I am growing. And like, I've got beans, tomatoes, carrots, kale, lettuce, kind of just a general. And then I've got all of the seeds that fall under that category in each one of these. So I've pulled out the ones that are relevant to what I'm going to plant, kinda. Not yet. Well, I got to look at my list. Well, okay. My husband says I be all over the place, and I do. I apologize. It's just, I think I've got so much going on in my brain that I just want to make sure that I don't miss anything. And again, remember my garden journal? This is it. So, what I plan to plant for spring are bell peppers, broccoli. Well, this is just the start. This is what I'm going to plant in January, because there are going to be additional things come February. So for January, I'm going to plant bell peppers, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, spam, let me start at cabbage, cauliflower, eggplant, and I did taste it, by the way, and they are delicious. I'm going to plant another ground cherry, hot peppers, you know, the jalapenos, things like that. Leeks, since I just planted one. Loofah, I'm going to plant a loofah plant. Shallots, sweet peas, sweet peppers, tomatoes, and I have 2 sets of seeds for flowers. Well, 3. Zinnias and 2 different types of sunflowers. So I'm going to start the zinnias this month. So those are the seeds that I'm going to get started this month, and I've got all of those plastic containers. Don't know if you can see them. I've got all of those pulled right here. Now, once I got these all pulled, I've got to go through, make sure that I have enough seeds so I can get them planted. The biggest part, now that I know what seeds I'm going to plant for January, now I have to plan how I'm going to put them into the garden. So, I have drawn out, to the best of my pole ability, a square, and I did square foot gardening on here. This is just one of my raised beds. Now, I have 3 out there, and so far this is the biggest one. So I went on and drew it out, and I am going to plan what I am going to plant per square foot. I am going to force myself to stick to square foot gardening. I'm going to force and I have to repeat this to myself. I am going to force myself to stick to square foot gardening, because I do not want to end up in the same position that I was in before, or the same position that I'm in now, where I have so much growing out there and they're not labeled, and I don't know what's growing. When I was out there yesterday, I noticed that I have cabbages planted, but I have them so close together that one is outgrowing the other, because the leaves have grown so big that it's just pretty much smothered the other one out. So, not going to overcrowd them and jump into panic mode like I did this past season. So, having said that, I am going to plan what I'm going to put into each square foot. What is going to help me decide that is this little app. I am not affiliated with them. I get absolutely no money for using this app, or for even telling you guys about this app. But this app is called Seed to Spoon. I use this app religiously. It is absolutely fantastic. It allows you to, what it does is it allows you to draw a picture of your raised bed or your grow bucket or grow bag or whatever. Grow bucket. Why do I keep saying grow bucket? It's actually a 5-gallon bucket or a 21-gallon tub, or whatever your growing medium is. You can set the parameters for it in this app, and you can, using the square foot method, tell it what you want in each square foot, and it'll tell you how many you can put in that square foot. You tell it the date that you're planting it, and it will tell you when the anticipated germination date is, when the anticipated harvest date is. I mean, it's just full of information. It tells you what the pests are. It tells you what the, well, I'm just, like I said, not affiliated with it, ain't getting paid for it, but it's a very useful app. So what I'm going to do, since I know what I'm going to plant in January, what I'm going to do is go through here using these items, the veggies that I'm going to plant, and try to put into this bed. I am going to use this app and determine what are good companion plants and put them according to the app, because it tells you that too. What plant is a good companion for the other plant, because you don't want to put two conflicting plants together, because one can suck the life out of the other, and you just don't want to do that to your plant. You just don't want to do that to your plant. So you want to make sure that you are setting yourself up for success versus setting yourself up for failure. So I am going to do that, and I'll tell you what I am going to plant. Even though I went through the names, I will go through and let you see. For bell peppers, I'm going to plant the Carnival Blend bell peppers. Now, I planted these last spring and I got no bell peppers, but that, again, I planted them very late. This time I'm going to plant them in a raised bed and not in a grow bag. So we'll see what's going to happen with those. These are new. I'm also going to plant the Keystone Resistant Giant Bell Pepper. Got those from in my gardener. Okay, those are jalapenos. And I am going to plant these. I'm going to plant the red Corno de Toro pepper, the New Mexico Parker pepper, right here, the Jimmy Nardello pepper, the habanero pepper, and the jalapeno pepper. So those are the peppers that I am going to plant in January. Next on the list are my, okay, hang on, broccoli. Now, like I said, oh crap. Broccoli seeds they're trying to escape. Eek! Get back in there. Okay. And it's coming out of, I'm not sure which one. Okay, anywho, I am going to plant the Sun King hybrid, and I am going to plant the Waltham 29 broccoli. So these are the two broccolis that I'm going to plant. And let me get these. Oh yeah, at least the seeds are still in this container. That's another good thing about having these. If the seeds get out, they're still in the container. Okay, the Brussels sprout that I'm going to plant is the Catskill Brussels sprout. I need a container for those, but like I said, that's coming today. Cauliflower. Am I planting cauliflower? Yes. And this is just the heirloom cauliflower that I am going to plant. Then I am going to plant me some eggplant. If these don't make it, and I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 eggplant plants growing right now. If they don't make it, because I think I have, I'm not sure what variety those are that's growing, but I think they're diamond eggplants. But I've got new eggplants that I'm going to plant. This one is the long purple eggplant. This one is the ping tongue long eggplant. And of course, this one is the black beauty eggplant. I want this one so I can make some lasagna with the eggplant. And then here's the diamond eggplant. Actually, those look about the size that I got them when I harvested them. And those are the eggplant that I am going to plant. So I've got a lot, as you can see, that I am going to plant. And then next are my tomatoes. I am going to plant San Marzano. Now if you see me looking over here, I'm looking at the back of the camera I'm looking at the reflection on the television so I can make sure I'm still recording. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, right? So the San Marzano, the Cherokee Purple, the Aunt Ruby's German green tomato, and I want these because my husband and I absolutely love fried green tomatoes. So that's why I want to grow these. Mushroom basket. This tomato, I'm really not a tomato fan, but this tomato, and I'll tell you why I'm not a tomato fan. I don't like tomatoes because of all of the liquid inside of it. I just, it's something about that that just is just absolutely gross to me. This has more meat than liquid inside, if that makes sense to anybody. So it's going to be mushroom basket. So I figured I'd give this a try. And then I've got large red cherry tomatoes. Now, I want to plant I ordered and I'm waiting to come in champagne bubbles, and I think there's one called honeycomb. Waiting on those to come in. Oh, I thought it clicked off. And then here's my loofah. So I'm going to plant those. Then I asked my husband if I should plant squash again, and he's like, heck yeah, because I planted squash for the absolute first time last spring, and it was like absolutely amazing. We still have squash in the freezer from last spring, and it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. Now that I'm canning, I can can it too. So, yay. I'm going to plant some Ford hook zucchini. And I'm going to plant some straight neck squash, because that's what I planted last time and it was absolutely delicious. And I think, oh, okay. And I still have 2 packets of summer squash and zucchini. So if I run out of these, I've got backup, which I am running out. So these will definitely come in handy. And they're just heirloom seeds. Then for my floral, this is the little zinnia pack that I have that I'm going to start. And then come February, because that's when it says to plant these, I have the mammoth sunflower. And I think this is the one you can actually get the sunflower seeds from, I think. Not sure. And then the sun gold tall sunflower. And that's pretty much it. So now comes the fun part. I'm trying to figure out how much I can squeeze into one bed. And then make up the plan for my other bed and figure out what's left over from that I couldn't get here and put there. And I also have to remember, whatever I can't put into this bed or any of those 3 beds that I have, they're going to go into buckets. Now, my husband and I have been talking, and I'm going to get 2 more raised beds, but yeah, I'm going to get 2 more raised beds, and when that's going to happen, I don't know. So whatever I have in buckets and or grow bags, I may transfer into the new raised beds, but if not, then they will stay in the grow bags and or grow buckets, 5-gallon buckets. Yeah, that's how that will happen. So right now I'm starting with a blank slate for my raised bed, and I am going to start trying to figure out what I'm going to put where. And because I also have to think about, there's a certain part of the raised bed that gets shade because of the pergola. So I'll have to consider that, which ones can actually take some shade. It's not a lot of shade because, like I said, it's only 40%. So I want to see what can handle some shade and what cannot handle shade. So I'm going to start working on this, and then I'll see you back in a moment. Okay, I am back. Now, I know the camera cut off, and that was okay because I know you didn't want to see me sitting and going back and forth on my phone. Now, I know you can't really see it, but what I did was, on this grid, this was my flower bed. I have, the big one that I am doing is 4 by 8 by 1. So it's 4 feet wide by 8 feet long by 1 foot deep. So that is what I put on here for the dimensions. Well, 4 by 8. It doesn't care about how deep it is. And I chose the vegetables that I was going to grow per square foot. And you know, you really don't realize how much food you can actually squeeze into one spot. I've got everything that I wanted to plant and more on here. And I even doubled up on some. So I will shoot a picture of my messy handwriting and my notebook to show you exactly what I ended up with for plan number 1. I guess this may be a 3-part series. I wasn't trying for it to be a 3-part series, but it may be a 3-part series because this is bed number 1. When I get the other seeds, then I will tackle bed number 2. But as it stands right now, I have everything planned for my first spring bed. And the other good thing about this, and again, not affiliated with this app or anything, there is a small fee that you pay every month for it, or you can pay by the year. But it also tells you how many weeks before your last frost date or your beginning frost date. I mean, it tells you the weather report, everything. So right now it's telling me that a hard freeze is predicted in 3 days. So that lets me know that I need to go out and before the third day and cover my veggies before I go to bed, because a hard freeze is coming. So I mean, it's just this app, I'm telling you, is a godsend. And again, it's called Seed to Spoon, and it's helpful for me, very helpful. Let's see. So in my bed, I know you can't see it. Like I said, I'll take a photo and I'll put it at the end of everything that I am going to plant. Now, what I did not put on here are the zinnias, because those will just be sprinkled in, you know, sporadically throughout. But this is everything that I want to plant that I had on this list. The only thing that's not on here is the cauliflower and the broccoli. And the reason that I'm holding off on those is because I think I'm going to put those in the other bed. Yeah. Oh, let me rephrase that. No, I'm actually going to plant those in 5-gallon buckets. I decided I was going to plant those in 5-gallon buckets. So I am not going to put those in a raised bed. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do with the broccoli, and that is what I'm going to do with the cauliflower. Let's see. Oh, there was another thing that I was not able to put on here. The Brussels sprouts. I was not able to put on here because everything seemed to conflict with it in the order that I was trying to put it in. Unless I set it off by itself, and everything seemed to not be a good companion for it. But these 2 large squares that you see up here, I probably am dooming myself for this. But one of them is the straight neck squash and the other is the zucchini. I am planting those side by side, even though they are not great companions, but they are going to have enough space where they're not going to be close by. They're not going to be like right next to each other. One is going to be planted up in this upper corner, and the other is going to be planted in this upper corner. So the roots are going to be traveling this way versus them being, you know, like side to side, you know, really, really close to each other. And I'm giving them 4 square feet to grow. So they'll have plenty of space to grow and take over and do what they need to do in order to produce. So I'm hoping that that works out. Yeah, hoping that works out. So that is it for this video. I hope it was helpful. I guess the main thing is you've got to start preparing now. Some of the things will be in the house in your indoor grow space for a little while because, you know, January and February are typically cool months. Some are really cold months, but now is the time to start planting because some grow periods and germination periods are quite long. Like for the Brussels sprouts, the Brussels sprouts, it takes 10 to 21 days for the seedlings to emerge. 21 days, it's almost a month. So you want to get an early start on planting some of these items that you want to make sure that you have in your spring garden. So the time to prepare is now for spring. Yeah. So that's part 1 of spring sprouts. Plan, prep, and plant. I hope it was helpful. Stay tuned. Part 2 will be coming soon. So stay tuned to make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be alerted as soon as an episode uploads. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And always remember, grow your own, eat your own. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.